Have you ever been editing a photo and you just look at it and you think to yourself, the colors in this are just not coming out the way that I want them to? Or maybe the sky is just a little too blown out and you want to bring back some of those details without affecting the overall image. Or maybe you threw on a preset and you just want to make some fine-tuning adjustments to really make it your own. Well, in today's video, I want to show you a tool that you can use in a Lightroom that can address all these issues and get you back on track and putting out more banger edits. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to yet another tutorial on the channel. It is so great to see you here. I hope you're all keeping well and safe. If it is your first time here on the channel, thanks for stopping by. It is so great to have you here. My name is Connor. I take photos and make internet videos. So yeah, if you like it, maybe subscribe. So like I said, we're talking about Lightroom today, so let's get straight into it. Let's open Lightroom. So to begin, this is the image that I want to edit. So to start, we just need to go over and select the brush tool or press K, and then we move over to the area that we want to work with. And to make sure that we have the entire area covered, you can just press O to see the overlay of the mask. Once we have the entire area that we want to work with selected, then we just move down to the range mask and you can see that it's turned off. In this case, I want to affect the greens in the photo, so I'm just going to select the range mask and move down to color. Once I have that selected, I'm going to use the dropper to choose the specific color. In this case, it's going to be green that I want to edit. And again, I'm going to press O to see exactly what Lightroom has chosen from the overall mask that I've just put over the photo. Now moving back over to the range mask, you can see below it has the option of amount. Now this slider is going to control how specific or how broad your mask is going to be. And just by moving that slider from left to right, you can see how it reduces or increases the area in which is affected. Now just because I want to affect the greens specifically in this photo, right about there looks about right. In this case, all I'm going to do with the edit is just bring down the saturation a little bit. But from this section, you can change everything from the hue, the exposure, anything that you may need. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to move on to the next part, which is the sky. It looks pretty blown out, so I'm going to select the brush tool again, move down to the range mask, but in this case, I'm going to choose color, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. I'm going to bring down the exposure a little bit, just so I know exactly where to put the dropper. And you can already see the immediate effects that it has on the sky because I chose the blue in the sky rather than just using the luminance because it's blown out. The lighting is very similar, so I find in this case it's a lot easier to choose the blue color in the sky and keep those clouds looking lovely and fluffy and, you know. But again, I'm going to move down to the amount slider and bring that down just a little bit so I have less effect on the clouds and more of the sky, just to bring back and separate the detail. And that's looking pretty good so far, but I'm going to go back up to the exposure again and bring it down just a little further to make it really pop. And there you go, and that is why I'm using the color over the luminance option. Now if we go back down to the range mask and then select luminance, you'll see what I'm talking about. The immediate effect that you can see here is because the luminance or the light is very similar between the clouds and the sky, it's a lot more difficult for the software to differentiate between the two. So even if I'm moving the range or the smoothness up and down, I feel personally I don't think it's going to be as good as selecting the color specifically. So I think I'm just going to change it back, and that looks pretty good to me. And just as a reference, here is the before the edit and here's the after. So just for the sake of covering base on both luminance and color, I'm going to do two more examples. And the first one, this is going to be this lazy boy here laying in the grass. Again, we go to the brush tool and we cover the entire frame. And as we did before, go down to the range mask, we select color, and then we use that dropper to select the exact color that we want. And again, this is going to be the green in the grass. And just so we have a clearer view, this is the mask that we first put on, and this is what we have now thanks to the dropper. And so here I'm just going to move up the temperature, bring down the saturation, and that right about there, that's looking pretty damn good to me. So now, moving on to the final one, the luminance. In this case, I'm looking to make those trees pop out that little bit more. So now that I have the mask covering the frame, I'm going to use the dropper again and then move into the dark parts, into the shadowy parts of those trees. As you can see here, now that I have the dark areas selected, the range has actually narrowed. So that is how the dropper works in this case. Now all I'm going to do is just drop those blacks and then see how this photo really comes to life. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this useful, maybe consider subscribing. Let me know what you think about the video down below in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.